Greetings, greetings, all divine beings. It is Witchy Poo coming back to you with another video. And if you are feeling kind, please subscribe. I hope everybody slept peacefully. I hope everybody dreamt bountifully. And we are getting into Aries at this time to begin our week. If you are new to this channel or passing by during the live stream, this is an Aries and Taurus zodiac channel. We do every sign on Friday nights, sporadically doing some karma tarot, and then a few other signs if the message comes through as a download. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for stopping by. And just to let you know, you are welcomed here. And we're just going to get into it right at this time. Today is Tuesday. I was going to use the purple deck, but I didn't. So I have okay, that looks good. All right, I just wanted to make sure that the camera was focused on the decor. I do have the Wizard's Tarot deck. We are going to use that here. So let's get started with some blue vibes, neon lights, and see what we can get to come clear. I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to say too much because this just popped out. Rosie, don't start. But Aries, you're here in that fire sign and that fire energy. You may have been wanting something to be very in a high expectation. If it's coming from a masculine, if it's coming from somebody who you're constantly looking at or watching, it just doesn't feel as if your high expectations are supposed to be forced in any way, because that's going to be ineffective. So try not to be so on high alert or wanting so much from people, because they're not going to give it to you in any way this week. All right, let me through the doors. Grand shining, grand grindings, Aries, sun, moon, rising. Let's get into it. The future is extremely thin. On the bottom of that deck is the Page of Curses. There's the magic ball. There's the eyeball. Because we have some sort of skill, some sort of feeling, this is coming from something that needs to be creatively thought, creatively fulfilled. If you're speaking with somebody that's giving you, thank you for the like immediately, you guys, the couple that's in here. I know it's my day one, so thank you. And if not, you're a newbie, I appreciate it too, OG. But what I'm saying is, if you're talking to somebody, or if you're getting some sort of information to keep you not so sensitive, or to keep you a dreamer, right? Like a tarot reader or a spiritual advisor. You've got to understand, when you're doing this and wanting new pages to turn, you have to have creativity behind your life as well. That takes to be a little naive. That takes to act like a child that was raised with manners, moralities. But really, it's about just being in a state where you're not uneasy. Because we're sitting here, we're clenching our jaw, we're twisting our fingers, we're tapping our leg, but we're not really being ideal with what we're asking these people. What are you doing in your life today? You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Spirits. What signs and what downloads and messages do we have for Aries, sun, moon, rising? We do have the 8 of Curses. So curses, when it comes to this Wizard Tarot deck, it is available on Amazon. Check it out if you are a tarot reader or you just like to experiment. The cults. Just put my damn glasses back on. Curses are the cups, the feelings. When we see the cults, we're talking about the pentacles. Sorry, I thought this was curses, so I had a whole thing, but whatever. First card we have is the 8 of Cups. So we're talking about earth energy. So Taurus could be evolved or any other earth sign. But we're talking about talent, skill. Are you trusting these people with your life? Or are you trying to kind of just get an open sight of a dark path that's unforeseen? Because things can change when you're searching for truth and trying to change your physical being, okay? This is past tense. What's up next? 8 of Cups. So you've done this forever in the past life, as far as not being relaxed, uneasy, and constantly asking for help, but not really taking the path. And then we have the Queen of Swords. This is air energy, and this is somebody who should be honest in the present. They may or may not be with the perspective. And then we have the Four of Swords, more thoughts, more actions, but now we're dealing with self. This is going to cause some sort of peace here in the future with a path that's wanting to be took with some creativity. And then we have the Five of Curses. So this is an inability. And this is also to really see you may be living in this past life constantly because you're constantly asking and taking these roles and these leads, but you're not putting in actions into your seed. These look like little sperms here, okay? You got to put these actions, you got to put these ideas into the actual place where you're planting them, where you can envision. It's too dark here. So there is some sort of inability to kind of get this going, or to either understand that you can't live in the past of always wanting but not really putting any direction. There's a lack of direction here, very dark. Two more. All right, and at the Knight of Curses, there's a little spirit behind this fella, but it's also saying I could be talking to a talking. Sorry, I have to get some water after this. Talking to a masculine. But you've got to have grace with yourself here in the present, and it's not happening. Final card is the Two of Curses. It could be the person that you're laying next to that's got you feeling the worst. It could be somebody that you're going to bed with every single night and things are just not getting any better. Couples counseling, therapy, whatever you two are into, or if you haven't even experimented that at all, I can't tell you what to do, but the truth is going to be revealed to you during this reading, y'all. All right, here we go. Let me get a sip of water, please. I have my deck here. Okay, so this horror deck is like everything, simply because it's Halloween. So, well, it's Halloween every day to me, right? Hello, listen, Halloween every day to me. There we go. We'll put it away. So what I'm trying to come up with is the fact that I love to use these little horror oracles, and I introduced them Friday night. Maybe I need to do a better thumbnail, but y'all didn't check it out as you did the week before. But the 150 that is and did, they're my solid ones. So who gives a crap, right? Who cares? I love you all. I'm going to incorporate the horror oracles probably in every other reading. Now, depending on the back of cards, we may not need it. I'm going to use this today. Can we get a basis, please, on what's going on with this lack of direction that's dark, actions not being put into place? Somebody laying next to them in the future that may have a part in this role that they're playing. And also what's happening with the perspective, the thought, self, and the inability of some sort of feeling action over a negative spirit. All right, here we go. So I've got the trickster, lies, and dinner. All right, so the trickster is everything that you're afraid of. Appearances can be deceiving and playful, especially if coded as harmless, can be fueled by a subterranean. No one is ever just kidding, by the way. As a figure as old as time, the trickster will use our own thoughts and fears against us if they can. Be mindful of manipulation as you proceed this week or in the past tense, because that's where we're at. Okay, give me two more. So for dinner, this is you are what you eat and focus on sustainable options. Okay. And the lies, how the movie They Obey, the lies. Let me give you that one real quick. So we can get a basis of like where we're at in this reading. So the lies is They Live. Forgot what that movie was called. But you may just be conforming to something. So things are not as they seem. Question authority. And this is pretty much what you need to take a look at as we dive deeper into this reading, okay? So spirits, now that we're back here, Tell me why we have this Eight of Cups. If this is a past thing that has been done before, whether it's this portal or a different time period when we were born, they were born, what's happening with this Eight of Cups? So there's something that you may have mastered, or you're dealing with a mastery type energy. And if that's the case, then this is dedication, but it's also alarming, okay? If the trickster is here in the past and saying that something is not as it appears to be, you got the Three of Curses, you got the Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Curses. Now, I'll start here with some sort of love that's not happening, because you may just be feeling unwelcomed. In the past, you felt this a lot, but this is a comfortable state for a certain Aries that likes to it's a thing that comes out as a sort of salvitate, but it's salvitating in a negative way. And if you're salvitating in a negative way, that means what you speak is kind of what you're living today, and this has always been some sort of bubble surrounding your life in some way. So if you're caught in not really being the right emotions when it comes to your feelings, or you're around people constantly who you're mistrusting. Now, this could go either way, because this is some sort of gathering or friendship that happens constantly, but you could just be in passing, because this is in a past tense life. This is in a past tense setting. So you may just always be traveling past these types of people or this type of energy. But 7 is the magic number, and there is magic in something that's being kind of played in your face because something is not as it appears to be when it comes to a fantasy. When it comes to some sort of growth you think you've gotten, it isn't true in any way. I have to have my backups. Tell me more, please. Final one. So you may be seeing or involved with someone who you feel is being honest about the path you guys have took or taken. Now, because you know this energy very well and you're comfortable with it, this comes through as somebody who's like constantly broken your heart, but you've dealt with it, or you've broken theirs in some way. And because there's some pain or healing that needs to be over this emotion, this is why this path is getting nowhere in the past, present, or the future today. Why do we have the Queen of Swords? Finally in the present. Sorry, guys. What's the Queen of Swords? 7. So this perception that you're looking at, it may not be fully to your understanding, because there's another party involved with the mask. Like somebody's wearing a mask here you don't see. Whether like they're visiting, they're in contact, you go and visit them. It's a perspective. They're in your vision, okay? And because it's like not being, I'll start here. The 3 of Curses, sorry, 10 and then the 7. Because there's a third party that's constantly here, we have to come to some sort of realization that there's an effort that you are not aware, or there's an effort that keeps you in the state of being here. Hear me out. We are taking it to the next ascension. You've been with this person for a very long time, or this energy, because we're in the past, but now we're in the present. And it seems like there is constantly shared goals in something, but it doesn't feel solid. Whatever you're looking at, it's just not. There's something going on beyond your knowledge. And now we have to break things down, because there's some sort of conflict that's going to go down, because nothing is aligned correctly. Something is very misaligned, and it's still happening in the present now. There's a game being played right in front of your face, or below your hands. And because of the game that you're not either involved in, or you don't have a deck, you don't have a card here, it's like you're just taking something for what somebody says as granted, as gold, but it's not true at all here. And I feel like now in this present time, you may have had dinner with them in general. You may have been in their presence, and they're playing you Oh, so you may be a black widow, they may be a black widow. I don't know. When I say that, it's just some sort of succubus that doesn't have morals. I need you to see that there's creativity behind, there's that 8 again, something that has been forever designed. And I don't know if this is just a part of your past life, so you have to keep experiencing it in order to get out of this web on your own, because you can't let something or someone go because of what you see. Of what you see is right here. All right, so the lies is next, and the final card from the past, present, and the future. And then we've got the 4 of Swords. Could you tell us more what's going on with the lies, or something that has been conformed? You find sanctuary in this energy. You find sanctuary or peace in this person. But the fact is, you're too relaxed in something that you feel. Um, it's like, here's another dark path. It's just like you feel you would get hurt if you traveled. But you got to go through the pain in order to see what's in front of you. You got the Queen of Cups, you got the Fool, there's Aries, and then the 5 of Beasts again. There's an inability constantly. I'm going to start with this Aries, because this is the sign that we're speaking, but it's really about something very stupid we're not seeing, not calling us stupid, because you just may be distracted. Distractions cause gullibility. Distractions loosen up the wrong part of your vulnerability, but it also creates an inability. Knowing that we've got this energy here, Aries, that is a conflict, there's tension. What are you arguing or upset about? Because bones on the ground. So if they're already gone, is it competition? What is this really about? Because all I see is some energy that's just going to get stuck and they'll be back, right? I don't see this energy if you want them, because there's 2 snakes on the side, but there's a perception of something that feels supportive, that feels kind. But the sensibility behind this thing is it's a lie. It's a practical lie. Very, very practical. So you may have been told from this person over and over again for a long time that they're not doing anything, or they don't feel, or they're comfortable, they're happy, or something like that. But there's a third party involved, and it's been like that. You got the Magician in reverse, and then the Page of Cups. So we are caught in our emotion completely when it comes to somebody who's done this kind of magic over you in your life before. But Mercury can help, because manipulation only comes to trick those who are in their feelings and are blind. And I'm not calling you physically, and if you are, my apologies, no disrespect. But it's about innocence here that's on somebody's part that doesn't have anything to do with this negative, this trick, okay? It's them. It's not you, and they're definitely lying about some sort of third party, but it's always been here, and it's part of your situation too. 5 of Curses, please. Now, there's no disappointment yet, but because, well, hopelessness is involved with the Star here, it definitely feels like it's of the past, but it may revisit. This inability to find some sort of peace with self or move on from this person may just physically be because you depend on them. The Hierophant, that's Taurus energy. Page of Cups, that's more earth energy. And then the Aquarius. There's somebody working in your energy, Aries, again. And I don't know if it is an Aquarius or if this is just coming from a dark place of pure hopelessness in this situation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who is this coming from? An outside source that is doing work that will never be done? Mm-hmm. Or is this coming from a hopeless place in this current situation? 6 of Cups, feelings. This is coming from, this is being helped through somebody giving this person There's somebody trying to destruct some sort of foundation or some sort of thought process. And it's coming from somebody who may not live in America. They don't live in the United States. They live in a funny place. And this is also feeling like this is being done because this is supposed to happen over and over again. This person you've always crossed, or this type of energy you've always passed, and in passing, this is the test, or this is something that always, which this is always something you've got to deal with. The 5-6. Thank you very much, Spirit. What time is it? Give me a second. 5:14, 5:10. Thank you, Spirit. All right, thank you very much. This is kind of wild, Aries, on where we're going now. We're going to take it back down to hell, pretty much. Buckle up, we're in for a ride. Now, you have somebody who is not of this country or doesn't live here or is just not physically around for you to deal with. Capricorn is also here. And what they're doing is working on something in your energy. They're looking, they're researching, and they're trying to act like they're all knowing of some sort of knowledge, occult belief. And these people are trying to not really play on your downfall, but this is a part of your scenario. This has been for a very long time. And I'm talking about like when there was nothing around, just sand, dirt. I mean, nothing. Everything was gone. Like, oh my gosh. Like the biblical days that you, all that kind of stuff, all right? I just need y'all to take it back that far where there's nothing around. It sort of looks like space, but you got to travel far to get there, right? This person is so caught up in boredom and negativity that they're researching constantly on how they can ruin a relationship, ruin energy, ruin mentality. They also want to kind of procrastinate emotions, which means they want to kind of stop this achievement that's happening between you two. They want it to be cut off. They're searching from the wrong books and shit that they think they're all knowing of. And the knowledge that they have is right, but it's coming from a place that is not right. And their belief is this. They're committed in this. So you can't stop or change something that's always been a part of this. One more. No. Where am I going? What do I want? People are wrapped in spirits, whether it's a sexual deviant. Fuck not saying it. We have so many sexual deviants, perverts. We have a lot of people who are pedophiles that are women, and I am not kidding. And we have men who are caught in the same. But when I tell you this sexual demon, that kind of mentality, that's something that comes in as because of the stockings. Like they're either hooked to nympho, or just always needing to be sexual, or they do this for a living to make money. Something's here that's funny. Well, of course, Yang Gant Yai Tan. I think he's a part of this earth because he's always here. This is a spirit from the night from Brittany. And when I said that somebody doesn't live here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Brittany may be in Europe or just may be overseas. So we're talking about traveling over water, period. Carrying 5 candles. Here's the 5 of cups. All right. Here we go to another level. Hold on. His 5 fingers, which can offer a traveler or lure them from a path. Y'all think I'm joking around about these freaking spirits that walk this earth through these people, whether you're black or white. There are spirits literally hopping from person to person. But when it comes to this sort of thing, this has always been a part of this story. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. So I need you to see what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. It's a spirit that's trying to come over you that has lost all of their control. And once these spirits lose their control, you don't have to do anything but keep fighting for what's yours. And if you're feeling aggressive, if you're feeling forced, you have somebody that you can see that's unrealistic because you've had conflict with them. How can they talk to somebody to figure this out, or what's to happen next? Not everything involves an elder. I can't do this, guys. I'll talk to you because you're there. I'm not going to go here because this Queen of Cups is involving someone else. That is a lady I did a reading on, but this isn't her. That's not smart enough. She's not smart enough. But we're talking about a female in general, okay? And I'm not trying to call anybody stupid, but it ain't her. This is a different female. And they're very persistent at what they're trying to do, but none of it is even evening out here. How you're driving down the road, thank you, spirits, there's the 5-6 again. How you're driving down the road and it says uneven lanes. Uneven lanes is what you're dealing with, okay? You're dealing with somebody who believes they are all sensible, and the down-to-earth thing, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about another person, but they feel they're practical and it's not, okay? So whatever is being done here is in pure persistence, pure precise precision, but it's not going to, I don't think this is going to be effective because they're going to get tired here. And in tired, close to 7, the magic number, they're going to have to defend themselves over something or have to protect back because protectiveness is here. And you're already protected through a different level. It's like there is these gods, right? And you can believe however you feel and think, but there's somebody that every time something bad's getting ready to happen, they swoop right behind. They swoop right this way. They do all of these things that you're not able to see. And they are very, very big, like giants. So these angels, these gods, these people that protect you, you're already protected. But the person that's doing this is going to have to put up even more protection. But it's not going to, you see, there's nothing there. So they're really going to, tell me about this Knight of Curses here. We got one more and we're finished. You got the Ace. There's more Aries, fire energy. You got the 7 of Swords. They can barely see. And then you got what they're trying to do is some sort of destiny. Let me tell you something about destiny swapping, right? A person can't go or leave unless they really want to. That stuff can't physically take place if a person doesn't have a piece of you physically. Pictures and shit don't work, screens, none of that. But you believe who is the highest ranking in subscribers. That's how y'all see, right? That's how you see with numbers. So continue to look with your numbers rather than your logical thinking of the brain. I need you to see that because this person has tried to change some sort of fate between soulmates, that now they have to worry about their times, their days, and things that are going to bite back. Thank you for the 5-6 spirits. Thank you, God. This is something that's going to spark in their energy, but it's not going to come as something that gives them a new passion or gives them enthusiasm. Their confidence is going to start looking. You'll see it in their skin. You'll see it in their appearance. You'll see it in the physically, okay? And because this person has tried to deceive or sneak or scheme some sort of trickery here in a soul type connection or some sort of soul type mate passion, then you've got to see that You've got somebody who's just always been a betrayal piece of shit. Somebody that has always had some sort of sneakiness about them, and that's why they can't make friends. That's why they had to stick and attract to you. They had to stick and attract to you because you give them inspiration. And they also are in some sort of competition. They're in competition, but with who and what if they're not around in the physical? They're in competition with the union and the force that you have. Thank you, spirits. Fuck it. Freak it. Let's draw one more. Give it up. Give it up to me. Goosebumps. Thank you. Very first card, we're starting with this Two of Cups. Because they don't like how you're connected with this person, and they never did. They're just empty. They've had so many repressed feelings and repressed emotions that they only have been able to watch you two in envy, and they've been watching you from afar for centuries. Centuries have literally gone by. And because these feelings of confusion, jealousy, sadness, they don't like the connection that you two, where it lies. They may be suffering with money at this time. They may also be suffering mentally, in a state of being of some sort of conscious thought or action. They regret not moving forward with a certain man or woman. The truth is not only being overly loaded, illuminated to you at this time, but also some sort of secret they would like to unveil about themselves. And that could just be because they've never found or had some sort of love that is shared here, or that they're witnessing in some way. They don't like the romance. They don't like that shit. There's something going on where they kind of want to be a mediator and step in. But this person has no right. This person has no idea what they're stepping up against when it comes to you, Aries, at any point in time. That's where the mistake, I think, is lying. They don't know what's going to come. We only have one more. Thank you for being here, y'all. All the day ones, days twos, days threes, days fours. When I told you charming, cute, all that bullshit, it's an illusion. The cunningness that is being observed, it doesn't make sense. Because either they're into this, Aries, they're into you for some reason, or they're into the partner, they're into your situation just in general. So all of this stuff, when I told you the destiny swapping and people living in fear, it's never that unless they physically have a piece of you here, and I don't see that at all. There's no connection. It's just a spirit wrapped up in a person who's just upset here. Cunning. I don't even know what the hell that is. These aren't labeled as like the names. Right on time. Fox. It's a fox. Much like the raccoon dog, the fox is often associated by Asian and North American. When I told you they don't live here, they don't. Mythology with a trickster, more trickster, shape-shifting. The shadow card was to warn you to be careful of those who manipulate you, your energy. Use your words to make yourself feel better. Question yourself, question everything. They're using the earth right now to do this. There's no need for spell work. Promote wit and logic. Deal with manipulative people, protection from being taken advantage of, and warding against feeling tongue-tied. When I tell you there's no spell work, that's what the fuck. No disrespect, my elders. I'm sorry. However, I gotta be a young girl. Spell work. If you're still buying it in 2025, you're slow here. And I'm dead ass, so take it how you want. Goodbye. I need y'all to be smarter than that. Because spell work is an attraction for your karmic retribution to come back. This says spell work here, but it tells you nothing of the sort on what to do to harm someone, right? Everything that you do regarding some sort of spell work is a reflection of what you're going to change for you, what you would want to happen to you, right? So what this says again is to promote wit, Wit, not wick. Shit. Someone may be going to a wick appointment this morning. Who knows? I'm kidding. Promote wit and logic in difficult situations. When you use wittiness, charming, laughter, sarcasm, that changes the dynamic. When you use logic, that's getting you to think in a comprehensive setting of all the scenarios and situations, even like the ones you don't want to put your foot in. Deal with manipulative people. How do you deal with manipulative people? You feed them from a long-handed spoon, or you test them constantly if you're into that kind of thing, if you have time. But you never take what somebody says as word without knowing them for a decade or so. And the manipulative people that come, you can test just by that. You want to do some spell work, put a piece of cinnamon in your mouth. You carry around a cinnamon stick, a person that approaches you has to tell the truth even if it hurts and it sticks. Because it's a matter of the respect through the power of the cinnamon that gives you protection from being taken advantage of. There's magic in every herb, every spice, and every resource to this planet. I need you to see that protection from being taken advantage of is warding against feeling tongue-tied. Not in a sense how I'm speaking to you all now and my mouth's a little dry and I've spoken for a while, but it's a matter of speaking assertively, assured, and firmly on what you are wanting, what you're feeling, and what you deserve. The more that you speak with your tongue and it's not tied, especially in this energy of somebody who's just trying to manipulate some logic, you're going to become very stealth, very, very poof. You're going to come in with the universe saying that, okay, you are now using what was given to you. Not only the brain, the thing that still beats after you're long gone, but that third eye, that spirit. You got to walk in the spirit. Feel in the spirit. No, final card is the Two of Curses. That everybody ain't genuine. All kinfolk, all skinfolk ain't kinfolk and all that good stuff. You just got to know that people are separated from themselves. They're separated from things they've never handled. But something here that they want to completely separate in general. Emperor, Aries, hallelujah. There you are. Thank you, spirits. Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords. A lot of thoughts and actions when I told you that people are just wrapped in their emotion that they were never made an effort to change or explore. They never really got it fixed. But I'm going to start with you. You better believe it. This is Aries. All logic is coming through right now. Protective, authority, all that good stuff. You don't have to worry about a thing. Just continue to sit in your state of being. Continue to press forward on the things that you feel. Even when they're bad, just express them in some way. But rest as much as you can. Do not leave that throne much, because you got somebody fighting hard in the spiritual realm on the other side of the planet, I should say. Because they're so distant from you, it makes no sense. But they want something to transition, or they want you to move on from somebody. They no longer want this connection. They don't like it. And I don't even want to say jealous. They're just really discomforted in the membrane. So they may not feel pretty. They may not feel nice. It's just, they go through life day and night. They're very bitter over failed relationships, crisis they've had in their life they've never fucking handled. And you're at a dead end with this spirit, with this vibration. So the more that they try to separate something, the more exhausted they will be. And the exhaustion is going to cause them to lose energy and be defeated. And it's more of just losing energy. It'll happen physically. The appeal will go away. Them not being able to think, memory loss at an early age. I'm here. I see you. There's also some sort of collapse that's going to happen in some way. So you don't have to move. It's Stevie Wonder. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing in the dark. Kindness is here. Kindness has taught me a lot of things. Kindness and niceness is two different fucking words. But then again, you guys love to create your own urban dictionary and all those fun words, right? However, just continue to be kind in your spirit, continue to be kind in your heart, but most of all, you have to be kind in this love if you feel separated or forced, because what's happening is they're going to run out of gas towards fall. So that is a while from now. Is that kindness? No, that's the jack-o'-lantern. This is Virgo energy is here for some reason. I just looked on that card. I'm not sure why. Well, if I can't find it, hot dog. Kindness. Deer. It's a deer. It's a deer, guys. It's a damn deer. All right. In Christian mythology, this card represents innocence, purity. All right, Taurus, Aries. Sorry, Aries. The deer's kindness is selfless and compassion. It's fueled by unconditional generosity. So forget being generous to other people. Be generous to yourself and your emotions this week, because this card is needing you to be kind to yourself, to see a fresh beginning in your light, because they're trying to close your heart, and you're not going to be burdened by it, but you will have indecisive feelings. You're going to just be extreme in thinking. You got to know that you have to ward your energy and your mind against childish gullibility, childish negativity, being taken advantage of or exploited in any way. You can also work with the earth and countersuit, right? So here's your spell work. That's not really, okay? Strengthen or encourage bonds of friendships. Attract friends into your life. Aid someone in seeing another point of view. And this is some sort of spring equinox ritual, even though we're heading into the summer, fall. But to know that you can also work with the earth and counterpart is a great first step. And it's just by speaking all the things that you're feeling and that you may not want to happen. Let me give you a boost of energy. I haven't done this in a lot of Fridays, my Aries. You should be very sleepy, and if you've fallen asleep, I've done my duties. Thank you. Listen with all your heart, and you will do the best you can every single day. Your hands have to also be involved. And it's not to say that we're doing physical spell work, because we don't do that, right? I just showed y'all. But it's really about you seeing that you're going to have forceful things that come over you, but it's somebody trying to put them there. It's somebody that's extremely overcommitted to what they see, but it's all a trick. It's a lot of lies and deception. However, you need to know that the universe is speaking, so listen with all your heart, and that you will do the best you can every single day from this moment going forward. My poos, I'm exhausted too. I will see you guys very soon. I thank you all for being a part of the tribe, and until next time, I say, Ashe.